So today I'm going to be reading Warrior Cat's Starlight, page 300. But fear gave him a new surge of strength, and he forced himself to his paws, drifting off his attacker with a swift bite to his tail. Suddenly he heard a distant yowling and recognized Squirrelflight's voice. A gleam of moonlight showed her racing over the top of the hollow with Thornclaw and Ashfur beside her. Only a flash of Firestar's flame-colored flank was visible beneath Mudclaw and Webfoot. Before Brambleclaw could reach him, Squirrelflight hurtled past and flung herself into the battle with a screech of fury. Webfoot fled, and Mudclaw turned to attack the Ginger Warrior. Squirrelflight reared up on her hind legs, claws slashing. Mudclaw tried to plunge his teeth into her throat, but Brambleclaw flung himself toward Firestar. Relief flooded over him as the leader pulled himself to his paws and leaped back into battle. One flank dripped with blood, but the injury didn't seem to slow Firestar down. Brambleclaw whirled around to throw himself into the fight against Mudclaw, and he and Squirrelflight had disappeared among the struggling cats that swayed back and forth across the hollow. Brambleclaw found himself fighting flank to flank with Crowfeather, their moves well matched and strong after many moons of journeying together. Mistyfoot and Sandstorm were close by, battling against two RiverClan warriors. Then Brambleclaw spotted Squirrelflight again, this time locked in combat with Nightcloud. Squirrelflight's flank was bleeding, but her teeth were fastened in Nightcloud's scruff, and she was battering the well-muscled she-cat with her hind paws. Brambleclaw leaped in to help. Nightcloud tore herself free and fled. Squirrelflight scrambled up, panting. "What are you doing here?" Brambleclaw demanded. "There isn't a sniff or trouble by the ShadowClan border," Squirrelflight replied, "so we came here, in case we were needed." "I'm glad you did," Brambleclaw mewed fervently. "Then why are we wasting time talking about it?" Squirrelflight flicked her ears at a couple of ShadowClan warriors at a few tail lengths away. She and Brambleclaw hurtled into battle side by side. At a twitch of Squirrelflight's tail, they split up and confused the ShadowClan cats by attacking on each flank, pinning them together so they clawed each other as they tried to reach their enemies. "Nice move," gasped Squirrelflight as she raked her claws down the Ginger Tom's ear. A lightning bolt of pure energy slammed through Brambleclaw as he met her shining, breathless gaze, but it did not last. The two other cats, locked in a screeching knot of teeth and claws, pushed between them, and when Brambleclaw dodged around them, the ShadowClan cats were fleeing, with Squirrelflight streaking after them. A heartbeat later, he lost sight of her. Breathing hard, he looked around. He had reached the other side of the hollow. Ahead of him, the cats parted to reveal a huge tabby tom with powerful shoulders padding toward him. Brambleclaw looked up, eye to eye with his brother. Hawkfrost's expression was unreadable. His ice-blue eyes glittered with moonlight. Then a gray warrior dashed in from the side, sending Brambleclaw crashing to the ground. He let out a screech and struck out with his claws. Pain stabbed him as teeth met his shoulder, but he shook the other cat off and staggered up again. He caught a brief glimpse of Hawkfrost raking his claws across a WindClan warrior's flank. Then more cats thrust between him and his half-brother was gone. Thornclaw's dust pelt appeared beside Brambleclaw. Together they thrust the invaders back paw step by paw step. Brambleclaw realized that the battle had returned, and they were forcing the attackers up the slope at the far side of the camp. He had almost reached the top when a flash of lightning bathed the moor in eerie yellow light. It showed him Mudclaw and Hawkfrost facing each other at the crest of the hill, outlined against the sky. A heartbeat later, thunder crashed out overhead, rolling and echoing around the hill as if it would never stop. Rain hissed across the hillside. Within moments, Brumaclaw's fur was soaked and plastered to his body. As if the breaking storm were a signal, Mudclaw let out a yowl and fled, with Hogfrost hard on his paws. Two ShadowClan warriors broke in the opposite direction, heading toward the ThunderClan camp. Crowfeather raced up to Bramaclaw, his eyes questioning as if he were waiting for an order. "Go after them," Bramaclaw gasped, jerking his head toward the fleeing ShadowClan warriors, instinctively used to obeying him. Crowfeather took off into the darkness. Bramaclaw tore across the grass in pursuit of Mudclaw. The former deputy had betrayed the clan and tried not to kill his leader. Bramaclaw vowed that no other cat but he would know the triumph of sinking his claws and teeth into Mudclaw's throat. He did not want to ask himself what he would do if he had to face Hawkfrost.